This is a movie about what I struggle with the most. I know you're gonna identify with this actually. And then I'm gonna show you the 3 things I do to begin overcoming that struggle. I'm not saying I've overcome that struggle. I'm not sure I ever completely will. But I've got 3 ideas that help make that better. I also know you have your own struggles. I have an idea of what they are, and I have an idea of how I can actually help you with your food growing struggle. So you wanna make sure to stay all the way into the end to see how I can help you. You wanna know what I struggle with the most? Every single day. Sometimes I'm just a big old ball of stressfulness. You don't believe me? Ask the beautiful one.
Yeah, you stress out.
So what is it? What am I so stressed about? What is my number 1 stress? I always struggle with what exactly to do with the little bit of time and money I do have. So a matter of prioritization. Wanting to do more, needing to do more than I actually have resources for. There are so many things that have to be done and amazing options like chores that have to be done. What about farm projects? What about taking care of my health? What about family? What about work? And what about just recreational, entertainment, fun, socialization? Mainly, I tackle this problem in 3 different ways to solve it. Well, to make it better. I don't think I'll solve it. Number 1, I could see if I couldn't save some time. I actually presented that question to my members area and said, hey, what do you guys do to save some time? There were many answers, but one that really sticks out was Tori Oswich. She suggested, see what's taking the most time and develop efficiencies there. So that's a great idea. See what's taking the most time or what's taking the most money, whatever the problem is, and try to fix efficiencies there. What?
Give her something to eat.
Yeah. Josiah, you're gonna get her some hay? Okay, thank you guys. Another thing I do to save some time, it happened this morning. Jonah was milking. Aunt Flossie stepped in the bucket. I was upstairs, where was I? I was upstairs getting this stuff, I think. I came back down to get the bucket. I knew I was gonna have to go hand wash it. And I noticed the bucket, and I said, well wait, there's the tumbler. That's what we use to hold the soap and wash the cows with. I said, I'll grab that too. Always, if at all possible, 2 hands should be full. You gotta go get the milk bucket. See if there's something else you can grab. I could have grabbed Mr. Brown's bike, it's close enough, and dropped it off the garage. And then I'm sure there's something in the garage that I could have picked up and taken upstairs. So eliminating some trips. I've noticed on my most fulfilling, satisfying days, I've done this the night before. Have y'all ever noticed this in my apron? If I've had a great day, it's more than likely that I sat down the night before and scripted my life. I came up with a to-do list and put it in here. And I had in my mind, well, what is my number 1 goal? And as a movie maker, I'm always thinking in terms of like a documentary storyboard. What does the hero want? What is the main goal? You are the hero actually in the story, in your to-do list. You are the hero. What is your overarching goal? If our goal is to grow 75% of our food, what then tomorrow is the best way to achieve that? And then I have my little to-do list, and then I'm realistic. I understand that I have everyday obligations. You afraid of stud muffin? Okay, well go put up the gate. Go put up this gate right there. See that gate?
What gate?
Right there.
This one?
Yep. Put that up and he won't come. Stud's moseying on over. You think about your goal. You think about the restrictions you already have, like the chores have to be done. That's gonna take up so much time anyway. And then you have to work inside. Well, then how much time do I have left? For me, it's about an hour or 2 during the weekday, 4 or 5 hours on Sunday. So getting chores done, and then with that leftover time, continue progressing towards the most effective things for that 75% of our own food, but also thinking, like Tori said, what is taking the most of our time? Like, if we had, establishing a lane is high on my system ideas, because once we get our lanes solidified for these cows, it's just so much easier to move them every day. It's so much easier to bring them in. That's just something we do every day, and that takes a lot of our time, so we're gonna go after that. The third trick in overcoming this overwhelm is what I call the 1% rule. If I don't have time for anything else but just the chores, I do have time to make 1% improvement. All right here, let's give you an example. I have one block here. This tends to be a muddy area because of the water and because we track this every day to get in there to the cows. You got any ideas what we could do there, Josiah? Make one improvements today?
We could put gravel.
I think that would work. What about if we put another? Go ahead.
Or we could put more.
Ooh, I like that. Let's do it. Alright, let's grab this, sorry. Now, if I was feeling saucy and had more time, I could do more and double. It'd be like 2%. But you do 1% every day, it's not long till you've had 100% change. Oh, yep, pull it away. Let me finish milking Flossie for Jonah. This is, I guess this is another thing. I kill, stack functions. Kill two birds with one stone. While I milk, I'm also listening to motivational audiobook, Zig Ziglar, and that's good, positive things for my brain, and I'm harvesting milk, so I'm doing two things at once. I mean, I've even put the phone here and listened to it while Broad Fork. Then I knocked out three things because I exercised on the Broad Fork, I aerated and hydrated my soil with the Broad Fork, and I listened to an audiobook. Goodness. Well, folks, you kicked the bucket. Lost about half of it. It's a struggle, not my number one struggle. This is also a struggle. Poops in the stanchion. But that one actually, with that struggle, you can turn that into a solution. Okay, you putting that in that bucket?
Papa, look out!
Now, for your struggle, I'm sure you identify with that very same struggle I have. I'm actually going to be talking about that, and I seek help in that inside my member area. I'm going to be talking about it on our twice monthly webinars. Not only am I going to answer folks' questions about their struggle, I'm going to talk about what's our current struggle and what we're overcoming. This last webinar, it was Flossie being crazy, trying to get her in the stanchion with calf. But here I am. I was able to voice the frustration, get some encouragement, and move forward. Others get that same thing with their questions and problems largely solved. So let's say you have a problem. Let's say you want to know how to raise your own meat chickens, and you want to know when to start that. What you would have to do in the past, probably because you don't have any friends or family that don't think you're nuts, growing their own that you can turn to, you ask Mr. Google Pants, but Mr. Google Pants can be kind of crazy sometimes. He can be kind of all over the place, and you don't know which answer to trust. So you join my member area. And I would say the first thing you'd probably do is look inside the video library. You go to the video library directory, and it's like, golly! There's stuff in here on gardens, there's stuff in here on permaculture, there's stuff in here on chickens, there's stuff in here on sheep and pigs and dogs, and is there dogs? There's gonna be on dogs, on dog training coming soon. But anyway, you link on to the chickens section, and you look in there, and oh wait, there is a video on how to raise a year's worth of chicken, and I think something like 58 days. Yeah, a year's worth of, that sounds good. You watch that. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to raise 78 fast-growing, efficient meat chickens in just 58 days. If you think about it this way, did I say I was going to show you how to raise 78? I meant 75. Think about it this way. If you raise 75 chickens, oh my gosh, you have a terrible year, 20 die, that's 55 left. There's 52 weeks in a year, y'all. That's over one chicken a week for a year. You could raise a year's worth of chicken in 58 days. Absolutely incredible. And you get a lot out of that. Well, one thing, you learned everything you need to know and need. So you almost learned everything you know. Give me 1 second. You found out though that you needed Premier One electric netting. It's like this. But there's a special kind that I use. It's a shocker knot, and it's great. And so then, as being a member, maybe you're a member at an annual level, you grab the discount for Premier One and you go and get the stuff. But still, that video, I don't think it answered when to actually get them. Like, what time of year, what date do I get them? So you might go to the Facebook forum, the private Facebook group, and you might ask there. And in my experience, I've gotten answers within hours. And so you might go there and get several different opinions. You're guaranteed to get several different opinions on when they do. Rebecca and I are both active in there. You're most likely going to get an answer from one or the other of us. And that's an option. And you might even scroll down that Facebook group area and just see what folks are talking about and see if any of it is about chickens. And you see that there are some really neat discussions in there. But you decide you need an answer fast and super direct. You want to make sure you get my attention. So you're a member at the premium level, you text me. And this actually happened. And this was like a 15-year-old boy. And he said, when do I actually get meat chickens? And real quick, I think it was within hours, I was able to reply and I said, you know, good general rule of thumb is let them be at least 3 weeks old at your last average frost date. So you set chicks out on grass at 3 weeks old, so you shouldn't have any more dangers of frost by the time you're setting the chicks out. So if you're pressing the season, get the chicks, bring the chicks into your house, into your brooder 3 weeks before the last frost date. Last frost date comes, chicks are 3 weeks old, you can start moving them out on grass. That's as early as possible. I kind of like that because you're not dealing with the heat. Heat can be some problems for the Cornish cross later on. You're just doing one batch, just get an early jump, you know. And so I was able to coach him and see if he had any more questions and resources. So if that was your number one struggle, how to raise meat chickens and when, that's how I solve it. And there's so many struggles like that. Like, what about boar taint? I didn't even know about that. So what do I do when I actually don't know the answer? Well, between Mr. Google Pants and my resources, I've got 4 people I can ask about pigs. I got 4 pig guys. And I was able to get step-by-step instructions for Adam, one of our members, and he and his wife went at it, castrated a 5-month-old pig. Guys, that's not easy. We were helping them make that happen. Now they don't have to worry about what you call boar taint, which is like ill-tasting meat. There's a chance of ill-tasting meat if you don't castrate a pig before puberty, 5-6 months old. So a lot of that learning was new to me, but I have guys who really know what they're talking about. I'm able to tap into that. It clarifies Mr. Google Pants. Those coming together, it's really nice resource. So I want you guys to consider joining my member area. I'm putting this special video up because it goes away Friday. I say Friday at midnight, but really it's Friday at 11:59 p.m. So I want you to get in on that. There's different kinds of levels for different kinds of budgets or desires. So just check that out. I really truly believe, well, I know we can. Hundreds have already joined. We do have limited amount of spots in the premium level. So do check it out. And registration closes. We'll get on producing all the amazing new content in there and really doing a good job uncling, I'm like Uncle Justin, our members. So I hope to see you guys on that side. Stay tuned. Vlog a little bit later today. This is just a special message. Vlog coming out soon on milking Flossie for the very first time. It's gonna be exciting. Now, that problem becomes a solution. It's fertilizer for the garden. Chickens and pigs will help spread it out.